What's up, Guru Nation? Welcome back to the clinicaltrialsguru.com. Quick video. I actually wasn't going to do one because I'm busy following up right now. But I've gotten the same question from 3 different people this week because I did a video recently. So if you're new to YouTube, first of all, welcome. Make sure you subscribe and subscribe to the blog too. So I did a video earlier this week on the 3 things you need to focus on in clinical research and not needing to focus on the complicated stuff, because you can do that later, right? If you're trying to start a new research clinic, you need to focus on the 3 most important things: getting the studies, getting the doctors, and getting the patients for those studies. Now, getting the doctors and the patients is simple, right? I mean, you door knock for doctors, you go to physicians' offices, you cold call, you show up, you network with your sphere of influence. A lot of ways to do it. Patients, a little more difficult, but same thing. I mean, it's a lot of grassroots effort going on there to get patients enrolled in your studies. But 3 people asked me this question since that video, and it's the dilemma of those of us who are so much engulfed in this industry that we forget the most basic things. People don't really understand if they're brand new. So thank you guys for sending me these questions. So the question is, well, okay, we know how to get PIs and the patients, but how do you get the study? And that's a really good question for someone who doesn't know. I have a 2-hour video on this on my blog, theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Just click on the tab that says how to get more studies. My consulting company, of course, can help you do this. We are very competitive with our pricing. We work primarily with startups, but also established research sites. Because we're so competitive with our pricing, it's actually cheaper to hire us than to outsource this or hire an employee of your own to do this. But there's free ways to do it too, but it's a lot of hustle. It's a lot of follow up, which is what I'm doing now, which is why I almost didn't do this video, because I'm following up with students, with clients, with sponsors. I'm just going through my CRM system right now, following up. But on my blog, I have a 2-hour video on how to do this. But on this video, I'm going to do it like in 30 seconds, hopefully. Clinicaltrials.gov, you can filter, all right? So clinicaltrials.gov is the database of all clinical trials registered in the United States and also overseas, but we're going to focus on the United States. Clinicaltrials.gov, go there, it's free. You can filter studies that are actively recruiting and not yet recruiting, okay? You don't want studies that have closed. You don't want studies that are withdrawn. You're wasting your time. You're not going to get those studies. You want actively enrolling studies or not yet recruiting studies, okay? Then you just go through. You can filter by therapeutic indication, whatever you want. Go through, click on the studies, and then this is where it gets tricky, and this is where you got to hustle, and this is where you got to follow up, and this is where you got to get creative and do all kinds of stuff. And in my 2-hour video, I explain how to do this, and we also do webinars on this. Some of the studies have study manager, project manager, study director, medical monitor, whatever the title may be for that particular company. They have contacts. So for those ones, you get lucky. You get a phone number and an email. Now, in order to prevent solicitation, they're trying to prevent people like you from bugging them. Sometimes they put like a corporate catch-all email. Because clinicaltrials.gov is designed for study participants looking for trials. It's not designed for business people to go pitch their sites to all these people. So they sometimes have catch-all mailboxes, which in theory a study participant would email, and then someone would forward it on to the study team, and eventually that patient would get referred to a trial. But if you're pitching that catch-all mailbox, you're not going to get anywhere. Right? So sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll get the actual project manager's number and email, and at that point you gotta go all in on that, okay? Other times you won't. Sometimes you'll see a name of a project manager but not an email, and so then you can try to guess the email. Most corporations, most big pharma companies or CROs follow the same pattern of email: first name dot last name at whatever.com, or whatever the case may be. They usually try to keep it consistent. So you can try to guess. You can try to go to LinkedIn and network with people. You can try to call the corporate headquarters and ask to be transferred to such and such. This is where you got to get creative and do some following up. You can even, because it shows you all the research clinics that are participating in that trial, you can even start calling those research clinics and maybe build a rapport with them, build a rapport with the coordinators at one of those research sites and say, hey, I'm not competing with you. My site is in California, you're in Florida. However, I noticed you're working on this trial and I would love for my site to be able to get involved. Of course, you got to schmooze them a little more, but sometimes they'll just outright want to help you. Other times you got to build a rapport with them. What can you do for me? Vice versa. But I've actually used this strategy to some degree of success. You're going to get more rejections than you are going to get successful outcomes, but it's worth it because when you're starting a new site, sometimes all you need, not sometimes, all you need is one study when you're starting, okay? And when you're more established site, you're going to start getting studies coming to you if your reputation's good. But that's how you get studies, right? So go out there and do it. Try to email 100 contacts from clinicaltrials.gov every week. Guarantee you by the end of a month of doing this consistently, Monday through Friday, you can take Saturday and Sunday off, you will get at least 1 to 3 site selection visits from it, okay? Talk to you soon, Guru Nation. Make sure you go follow up because I'm going to go do that right now. Take care.